Hopefully you guys can see this. Ugh. So this is the 14700K. I got it stock out of box. Sorry, throat kind of cloggy. It was running at like 1.5 volts, 250, all the way up to 280 watts. And it was hitting 95 Celsius, no problem. So I adjusted a few settings in there after updating the BIOS. Even after updating the BIOS and getting it off of Asus's specifications into Intel's, it was still pushing 1.4 volts in order to hit that 5.6 gigahertz. As you can see right here, I've only got it at 5.5 on the P cores. The E core is still hitting 4.3, but the P cores are only hitting 5.5 now. I'm not benchmarking, so it doesn't matter a whole lot to me. These are just settings in order to keep the CPU from, going out and shooting itself. Yes, I lost 0.1 gigahertz. But I'm also now running at 57 degrees Celsius while doing a torture test on the poor CPU. So, hopefully this helps somebody out. I don't know, but this is just what I did. It's a 14700K. It's on an Asus Z790 motherboard. All I have is a 240 AIO running the Smug. It's a good cooler, don't get me wrong. It's an NCXT Kraken Elite. Kraken, however you want to say it. But it just can't handle 250 watts. Something like a 360 AIO, a top of the line one maybe. But 250, almost 300 watts is absolutely insane for a CPU. So, that being said, I had to do some adjustments. And as you can see, even with the case off, it's still running at 57 degrees Celsius. This AIO is doing a pretty good job. This Corsair 4000D, by the way, it's got great airflow. So, now, as you can see, 1.29 volts. This is not going to overshoot or have any type of V-droop. I took all that stuff off pretty much, or I tightened it up. You can't exactly take it off. Only thing you can do is tighten it up. So instead of hitting 1.4 to 1.5 volts, absolutely insane. I looked up everybody's recommendations, and anything from 1.25 volts to 1.3 is pretty good, and it'll keep the CPU from degrading and going out, grabbing a gun, and doing its thing with itself. So this is Asus BIOS. I went to Advanced. We're gonna go AI Tweaker, because this board likes to tweak out. Intel default. I went ahead and put it on performance. Sorry about the camera quality and everything else. I'm not very good at this. I have it XMP1. And I'm also running C36 6000 megahertz. This CPU typically likes C30 at 5600, but I got C36 at 3600. Timings are bad, but the bandwidth's pretty good. And also RAM's absolutely crazy right now, so if you're looking to build a computer, I would not recommend it. Internal CPU power management. So for the long duration, which is constantly the wattage that your CPU is requesting at just its normal clocks, is I put it at 145. When I first got the CPU stock, it was 200 at 253 plugged into the motherboard. It was insane. So put the wattage at 145, which, if you don't know, your amps times your volt equals your wattage, which is the power that your CPU receives. Package power window, in order to let it boost for a while, I just went ahead and put it at 56, almost a full minute. I had it set down 26, but my scores when I'm benching are a little bit higher, and I think it's better when I'm running all my virtual machines or doing video editing or anything of the sort. Short duration, I capped it out at 200 watts. The AC and DC load line right here, I put these at 0.01. So what I'm telling the CPU is that there's no fluctuation in this V-droop. That the voltage that you're requesting from the VRM is actually what you're requesting. Not higher, not lower. This is what you're requesting, this is what you're receiving. Where is it? Oh, SVID. I did best case scenario instead of worst case scenario. ACES multi-core enhancement. I removed everything off there. All limits of it. I disabled the Intel adaptive boost technology as well. Okay, so I did CPU load line calibration. So essentially what LLC is, your load line calibration, it is the V droop that is occurring so that your computer doesn't overshoot, or your VRM doesn't overshoot and your CPU doesn't receive the overshoot. From my understanding of the concept is, during load, your CPU is requesting, let's say, 1.3 volts. Whenever it goes back to idle, that voltage cannot drop down as quick as the CPU is going to lose that load. The CPU does in nanoseconds. I believe that the voltage releases in milliseconds. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it stores up in the capacitors and everything. But it still has this voltage and it has nowhere to go. So it'll just shoot the rest of it and it'll spike up to like 1.47 volts or 1.37 volts, hit the CPU, and then it drops back down because, you know, electricity is closed loop. It's got to go back out. Again, I got the PL1, 145, PL2, 200. I set the tau to 56 seconds. You can set whatever you want. And I set the AC DC load line to 0.01. I set the load line calibration to level 4. Where is it? Yeah, level 4. And I set the SVID behavior best case scenario. Removed all limits on the ASUS multi-core, and then I also disabled the Intel adaptive boost technology. So hopefully this helps you out. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it definitely helped me. My computer is no longer running at 90 to 100 degrees Celsius just to hit 5.6 gigahertz and go out there and start just killing itself in front of me after I just paid decent money for it. Before all the RAM spikes happened, I went down to Micro Center and I got this board and this chip and the RAM all for $300. So Micro Center, good deals. And then of course I got it paired with a 4070. I don't need anything more than a 4070 for anything I do. It does fine. And I only got 32 gigs of RAM, which, yeah, I hit upwards towards about 70% of usage on tests that I'm doing, but it's nothing terrible. Well, some of them are hitting 5.6 gigahertz here. Some of the P cores. Looks like we got 3 of them. So 3 out of 8. The other 5 are hitting only 5.5. And of course my E cores all the way down are hitting 4.3. As you can see, CPU package. My peak is 62 Celsius. As you can see, the voltages here, I'm at 1.1 even, 1.29 probably during the boost to the 5.5 to 5.6. Now I'm at 145, 140, peaking at 190. So I think that is some pretty healthy settings. Anyways, that's my settings. Hopefully this helps somebody. And here's a little video of my dog at the end.
I am not your dog.
I wasn't talking about you.
You
like the leaves, huh? Dang. Come on. Come on.